that could never be me. I could never do that. That's them. They're lucky. Nah, like they were given that kind of life. No, a lot of us just created it. They didn't want the same. They didn't want the norm. If we could override, taking care of our body with just existing on coffee, if we can override living off of, whatever fruit snacks or protein shakes and just, bypassing, when you need a bath or when you need to take a step back, we can override, instead of doing those overrides, how about we override our self-depreciating thoughts? How about we override the things that are blocking us from growing? I feel like a lot of us ladies like to put our needs and our wants to the side. We put our needs and wants to the side. We don't speak up because we don't want to cause any chaos in our homes. We're so empathetic to the point where we forget exactly what it is that we're here for, our talents are, what our what our what our goals are. We just end up living for others, and you don't want to rock the boat, and so you stay sedentary, you stay in this lifestyle, and little by little your dreams just dwindle and the fire is almost out. Because if I were to be real with myself, 6, 7 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I wasn't ready to hear, how amazingly competent and intelligent I was. I didn't even believe in myself. So how am I going to be able to get through to the female, to the woman, to the mother, to the sister, to the daughter that could be feeling completely powerless? How would she even find me in my page, on my YouTube channel, find my website where I offer coaching? I feel like I was searching these dead ends with these friends and the parties and the dancing and the drinking and the going places and doing certain things for myself with shopping, and just I was hiding. I was too consumed. I was consuming everything, but left depleted, waking up feeling exhausted, not knowing where the hell I was turning, watching the sunset and wonder to myself, is there more to life? There's got to be more to life than this. You think that you got it all because you've got the husband, you've got the kids, you've got the house, you've got the dogs, the white picket fence that everybody says. But, at the end of the day, if you feel like you're going to sleep next to a stranger, you feel like you wake up and you just feel exhausted already, you don't understand like the meaning of life, where you're headed, and, you've got these children or you've got a family, and everybody seems to be so easily distracted with all the fun things, and you're still wondering, like, there's got to be more. How am I going to get through to that person? How can I talk with that person, and how can I find them? How are they going to find me, better yet? So I guess I'm just going to continue with making videos, in the hopes that that woman, that person, person is going to find me and, decide to work with me, to take a chance on them, because it's not that they're taking a chance on me. I am not all that in a bag of chips, in a sense of like, I don't have everything in the world figured out. But what I do know is that my mind is not chaos. I'm not thinking a million miles per hour on how I can prove them wrong, how I can, prove to, my loved ones that I'm a good person, prove to them that, I'm smart. I felt like I had to constantly prove my worth, prove to my partner that I'm beautiful and that I'm the best wife ever, it just, if you feel like that, that's just part of the process, like, and it's going to take some time to shed those beliefs and those patterns, those emotions. And it's just part of the inner work process. And it does take time, and there are like certain like levels in the sense, it doesn't always have to be like this spiritual woo-woo kind of situation. Like, it's just a collection of beliefs that we've carried on over the years, and it's boring. It's boring to live like that because it's just so predictable. It's predictable in the sense that you are just never going to evolve. You're never going to experience a different life. It's always going to be the same exact thing. It's like that movie, that Groundhog Day movie, where you wake up and it's the same day over and over and over again. The same people, the same places, the same job, it's tough, and it should be a little bit more unpredictable. It should feel a little bit foreign, because if we're creators, and we're able to, shift and change and evolve and grow, it should feel a little uncomfortable. A little bit of friction is not bad. I feel like sometimes we glorify not working hard, and you don't want to force yourself because you want to go with the flow and things like that. But like, it does take action, and it does take sometimes being super uncomfortable. And so that being said, putting yourself in a place where you're able to get a microscope or a magnifier glass and look what's underneath the surface of ourselves. And it's extremely important and valuable, because not only are you going to be able to experience something greater, something deeper than this superficial life that a lot of us are liking to experience until we finally figure it out and we break free. That's all I want for us, is to break free of these rules and these expectations of these societal patterns and mindsets. I'm hoping to find somebody like that is willing and ready and just done. They're starting to see the patterns, they're starting to see the mindsets and how it's not benefiting them. They're starting to see how it's ready. They're just ready. They've got one step ahead of them, where they're trying to create this new lifestyle, this new mindset, and they're wanting to quantum shift. They're wanting to step into the next level of themselves, and then one step back, in a sense that they still have patterns that they need to grow from. And that's where I come in. I come in and I tell them, like, hey, this is what I'm seeing here. These are the things that might be lurking under the shadows and in the subconscious mind and the unconscious mind, what could be reflected back to you. And once we are able to identify those things, that's when the power comes back, because it never really left. When we're feeling agitated, or when we're feeling frustrated or sad or just aggressive, it's because we're not following the we're not following our intuition. We're not listening to our bodies. We're just overriding things because that's what's expected of us. That's where I come in. Where are you making those, knee-jerk reactions? Those you're looking back. You're trying to drive forward, but you keep looking back. If you were in a car on the freeway driving and you kept looking off to the side, what would happen? We would crash, right? Same thing with our lives. If we keep looking back as to like what was going on back then, what we could have done better, what we could have, it's giving us conflicted messages. And I feel like sometimes a lot of us will, in our subconscious mind, in our unconscious mind, we want to make change. We want to adhere to a diet. We want to adhere to a new mindset and things like that. But then your inner thoughts, your inner monologue comes in, and it's like, who the hell do you think you are? And I want to ask, who the hell do you not think you are? And it's going to take time, and it's going to take practice and habits that you continue to add. But I'm telling you, we're going to have to continue to deny. It's our ego. It's coming in, and it's just trying to play some tricks on you because it's comfortable. Ego doesn't want change. He wants something that's predictable. They want something that, that you're used to. And it's going to continue to question you. You're not going to wake up one day and have zero doubt, zero fear. I'm going to give you the tools that you need to be able to override that. I'm here to show you how to do those things, because the more that you do that, the more that you'll be able to step into your power. And I just want to find more clients that I can help with, because I just feel like it bleeds into everything. If you go to work and you have this mindset and you have this deeper understanding of yourself, it's going to be so moving to everyone you come in contact with, whether it's at the freaking grocery store, whether it's at work, whether it's at the park. You're going to shine. You're going to shine with your natural beauty, with your power, and it's going to inspire without even trying. That's what I'm here for. I'm just hoping to find some more clients like this. I want to figure out a way that I can create what it is that I like to talk about and meet with people in different places in the world and maybe make like some kind of show where we talk about these things and how all of us have been impacted with different traumas and pains throughout our life, but how we're able to unfold and still evolve and still choose love and still choose beauty rather than letting these things take us down and continue down that same path. I find it strong and valiant and just amazing when somebody has experienced such deep pains, but they've still decided to stay soft. They've still decided to stay open and not in the place where they're just kind and they're just a doormat. They're just allowing people to come in and, step all over them. No, it's more so that, they still have a love for humans. They still have a love for society and animals and the earth. Like they're not letting let them become bitter. So yeah, so that's something that I find extremely valuable, and yeah, little by little, it's going to all come together and make sense. But yeah, inner work, extremely important.